Hello everyone and welcome to a new devlog. And this week I'm just going to be working on the final changes I have for the game. And actually what I'm going to be doing is working on, for example, the prison that get generated on the first time, because you have 3 different levels. I have level 1, 2 and 3. The plugin I'm using uses these prisons. Or well, not these dungeons. So you have this editor, there's a start, and then stuff in the middle, and then an end. So this is a room, this is a room, and in between you can add different sections, and I have a start, middle, and an end. And in between you can add different nodes, which could be different rooms. So for example, for level 1, I have the start area, then you have some hallways in the start. If you click here, you can say they have hallways, some stairs, and they start with the start room. Then in between you have the cafeteria, that will spawn between these 2 areas. Then in this one is the middle. This also has hallways and could spawn with the cafeteria, and could also start with the stairs, and also at the end there could be a puzzle room. Then a random room could randomly spawn in the third, in the end archetype. If you go to this one, this just has hallways and only hallways, because it has transition to the end room. This one is also a lot shorter, so I'm going to shorten this so it's not as long as it should be, or as it could be. So if you generate a level and we look at it from the top, player spawns in the start room, then a hallway, into cafeteria, into more hallways, into the transition room. Now this is a really short one, and maybe I wanted to branch out a little, but of course for the first level it's fine, because you just want the player to get comfortable with your game and walk around. Something to add to the video, maybe, that I have this itch.io page, which I've linked in the description and also my YouTube description, where I have 2 downloads for the first version and now the second version, because in between there's a week, where I have been also posting a little devlogs, but they're not as in-depth as these YouTube videos. And this is also where I'm going to post screenshots. This is just my kind of store page for the game. And this week I'm also going to be running this up, or at least finalizing it, so they have nice screenshots that work for the game, nice text. So yeah, make sure to check that when it's done. Before setting up my playtest, I really have to look at around the map. For example, these areas here. If I jump, you can see it's kind of clipping through. It's probably because the top of this is not the same height as the wall here. So there's a little bit of a gap in between some of the areas, so I have to look for those. I've also changed how the guards now patrol again, because they kept getting stuck on these edges, because I think I made this a little bigger. So now they get a point, and then they go to a new point. And then, for example, if they get stuck in this corner for, I think I set it to 2 seconds, then they would get a new point and they would go there. Sometimes the guards would also walk super slow around, for example, these edges or up the stairs. So then, to make it not look as bad, and if they would walk here, they would walk slow, they would also get a new point. So I've added that as well. One thing I saw in the playtest, when players try to interact with the shop, they open it, and instead of pressing this button, they press escape. So then you would pause, but then you would go back, and this menu stays open, which is not desirable. So let's fix it. I've just placed this wall here just for testing. If you open it, you get the menu, you press this button, it closes. Or if you press escape, it also closes. Maybe you can already hear it, but I just wanted to add this. I thought it would also be a good idea to add a how-to, because some players in the test, they didn't really know what the point was or how to do, like what to do in prison. So here I have a little goal, and then make your way through the generated prison, and then just the controls down here. So then you would click on a new game, choose your item, and you're in. The deadline to have the MVP, or the minimum viable product, ready is the 29th. So every week I'm also doing the itch.io. Well, I've been doing it 2 times now. I like a little devlog there with the patch notes. So if you go here, you see what's fixed for this week, and that will be available for download in this build. It's going to be 0.3. I've added a new page to the itch.io page, so make sure to download it and check it out and see for yourself. Next week I'm also going to create an icon for my game, because right now I really have an icon. I'm just using a sprite for my game, or like from the in-game pistol. I'm going to work on that next week, so goodbye.